I made a $43,000 mistake that I need to warn you about. 3 months ago, I bought what I thought was the perfect SUV. Today, I regret every second of that decision. I spent 6 weeks researching and test driving 7 different SUVs. I interviewed dozens of owners, mechanics, and industry insiders. Today, I'm exposing the 3 worst SUVs of 2025 and revealing the 4 that actually deliver on their promises. Number 1 to avoid: Volkswagen Tiguan. My nightmare began with the Tiguan. The sleek design and $30,000 starting price seemed perfect. The salesman assured me it was one of their most popular models. 2 weeks after purchase, the oil was disappearing. I had to add 3 quarts before my first oil change. 3 quarts! When I called the dealer, they said that's normal for Volkswagen engines. I started researching online and found hundreds of owners reporting the same issue. One owner in Colorado told me I was adding oil every 800 miles. Volkswagen kept saying it was within acceptable parameters. The third-row seating is completely unusable. When my parents visited, my 5'9" father couldn't fit his knees in the space. It's a claustrophobia chamber marketed as family seating. The touchscreen interface is dangerously distracting. The menus are unintuitive, response time is slow, and I found myself taking my eyes off the road far too long just to adjust climate control. The engine performance is unpredictable, sometimes sluggish, other times overly sensitive. The EPA rates it at 26 miles per gallon combined, but when you factor in constantly buying oil, the real cost per mile is much higher. I'm spending an extra $200 a year just on oil between changes. Here's what really gets me. Volkswagen knows about these issues. They've decided it's cheaper to deal with unhappy customers than to re-engineer their vehicles. Number 2 to avoid: Ford Explorer XLT. I met Jennifer, who bought a Ford Explorer XLT for over $40,000. Her story made my situation look minor. Jennifer's Explorer spent more time at the dealership than in her driveway, 6 separate visits totaling 47 days without her vehicle in the first year. The reason? Mechanical failures and a shocking lack of available spare parts. I bought this thinking Ford was reliable, she told me. Instead, I'm paying $700 a month for a car that's constantly broken, and I have to rent vehicles just to get my kids to school. But here's the worst part. She paid $70,000 for a loaded Explorer XLT. Within 6 months, the leather seats looked like they were a decade old, cracked, faded, worn down in ways that shouldn't happen at any price point. The hybrid version comes with a transmission one owner described as learning to drive stick shift, except it's supposed to be automatic. The shifting is clunky, inconsistent, and occasionally dangerous when accelerating into traffic. The ride quality with larger wheels becomes stiff and uncomfortable. Every bump translates directly into the cabin. For a family SUV, this lack of comfort is inexcusable. The fuel economy? The EPA estimates 24 miles per gallon for rear-wheel drive and 23 for all-wheel drive. In a world where competitors are pushing 30 miles per gallon or more, these numbers are embarrassing. Number 3, to avoid: Hyundai Kona. The Kona surprised me the most. Hyundai has been building a reputation for value and reliability, so this compact SUV seemed like a safe bet. Wrong. I spoke with Marcus, who bought his Kona new in early 2024. By month 7, he was ready to sell it at a loss just to escape the constant problems. The ride quality is terrible, Marcus told me. It's shaky, jerky, especially over any uneven surface. My old Honda Civic rode smoother. Marcus's vehicle experienced 3 major breakdowns in its first year. Each time, parts were on back order for weeks. I waited 5 weeks for a transmission component, he explained. 5 weeks on a brand new vehicle. I was borrowing cars, taking Uber, scrambling to get to work. The parts shortage with Hyundai vehicles is becoming a pattern. Multiple forums are filled with Kona owners facing the same nightmare. Interior usability is another complaint. The backlighting for controls is so poorly designed that at night you can barely see the buttons. One owner wrote, "I regret buying this car more than anything. Parts are impossible to find, customer service is non-existent, and it's been nothing but recalls and frustration." Sure, the Kona offers decent fuel economy, 29 city and 34 highway, But what good is saving money on gas when you're spending thousands on repairs and rental cars? Number 1 to buy, Subaru Crosstrek. Now let me tell you about the vehicle that restored my faith, the Subaru Crosstrek. I met Tom at a hiking trailhead in Colorado. His Crosstrek had over 140,000 miles but looked barely broken in. I bought this brand new in 2018, Tom explained. Best decision I ever made. It's never left me stranded, never had a major repair, and it's taken me places most SUVs in this price range would never go. The Crosstrek starts at just $26,540. What really sets it apart is standard all-wheel drive, not as an expensive add-on, standard. Every Crosstrek has proper all-wheel drive that actually works. I test drove one for a week and was genuinely impressed. Fuel economy hit 28 city and 34 highway, matching or beating competitors while providing actual all-wheel drive capability. The interior feels spacious despite the compact exterior. What really surprised me was the off-road capability. I took it on light trails, and the Crosstrek handled them without drama. The ground clearance, traction control, and stability all work seamlessly. Sarah, another Crosstrek owner, told me, I was looking for something smaller than my RAV4, and the Crosstrek was perfect. It's smooth on the road, the all-wheel drive is a lifesaver in winter, and the seats are genuinely comfortable. The safety features are impressive. Subaru's EyeSight suite comes standard on most trims, including emergency braking, lane departure warnings, and adaptive cruise control. Number 2 to buy, Toyota RAV4. The Toyota RAV4 isn't exciting. It won't turn heads. But you know what it does? It works. Every single day, without drama, without surprises, without breaking down. I spent time with Lisa, who's put 180,000 miles on her 2016 RAV4. When I asked about major repairs, she laughed. I've done brakes, tires, and regular maintenance. That's it. Nothing else is broken. The 2025 RAV4 continues this tradition of bulletproof reliability while adding modern features. The interior is genuinely spacious. I could comfortably fit 3 adults in the back seat. The ride quality is where the RAV4 really shines. The cabin is quiet, handling is smooth, and long drives don't leave you exhausted. Safety is comprehensive with Toyota Safety Sense, including emergency braking, lane keeping assist, and adaptive cruise control as standard features. The RAV4 achieves 28 to 30 miles per gallon combined. For an SUV this size with this much capability, those numbers are genuinely impressive. Over the lifetime of ownership, that efficiency translates to thousands of dollars in savings. One recent buyer told me, I've been driving my 2025 RAV4 for 6 weeks, and I honestly can't find anything wrong with it. It's comfortable, smooth, has everything I need. Starting at $30,250, the RAV4 offers exceptional value. When you buy a RAV4, you're not gambling on reliability. You're buying into decades of proven dependability. Number 3, to buy, Kia Telluride. If you told me 5 years ago I'd be recommending a Kia as one of the best SUVs, I would have laughed. But the Telluride changed everything. I met the Telluride through my neighbor David, who cross-shopped it against the Honda Pilot, Toyota Highlander, and even luxury options like the Acura MDX. He chose the Telluride, and after riding in it, I understood why. The interior rivals luxury SUVs costing $20,000 more. I'm talking soft touch materials, premium leather, real attention to detail. Sitting in the Telluride feels like sitting in a vehicle that should cost $60,000, not the $39,215 starting price. But here's what really sets it apart. The third row is actually usable by adults. I'm 6 feet 1 inch, and I sat in the third row comfortably for a 30-minute drive. Kia actually engineered this to be a true 3-row SUV. The V6 engine provides smooth, confident power. With a towing capacity of 5,500 pounds, the Telluride can handle a decent-sized trailer or boat, making it genuinely versatile. David told me, "This is the most impressive SUV I've ever owned. The ride is smooth, the infotainment system actually makes sense, and it feels luxurious. I saved $15,000 compared to the Acura I was considering. Safety features come standard, including forward collision warning, automated emergency braking, and lane keeping assist. The fuel economy is respectable at 20 city and 26 highway for the front-wheel drive model. Given everything else the Telluride offers, it's a reasonable trade-off. Number 4, to buy, Mazda CX-50. The Mazda CX-50 is special for a different reason. While the others excel at practical family duties, the CX-50 adds something extra. It's actually fun to drive. I spent a weekend with the CX-50 Turbo and was genuinely surprised by how much I enjoyed it. The optional turbocharged engine provides quick acceleration, merging onto highways, passing slower traffic, taking on curvy mountain roads. The CX-50 makes it all engaging. But Mazda didn't sacrifice practicality for performance. The interior features high-quality materials like real leather and aluminum accents. One owner compared it favorably to his previous BMW, saying the CX-50 felt 90% is premium at 40% of the price. For outdoor enthusiasts, the CX-50 offers legitimate capability. The ground clearance and advanced traction systems make it genuinely competent on light trails and rough roads. The safety features match the best in the segment: emergency braking, lane keeping assist, adaptive cruise control, all standard. Fuel efficiency is solid at 24 city and 30 highway. Not class-leading, but respectable given the available power. Starting at $35,200, the CX-50 sits in the middle price-wise. But the combination of driving dynamics, premium materials, and actual capability makes it feel like a much more expensive vehicle. Here's what I learned. The SUV market in 2025 is divided into two categories. There are manufacturers who prioritize engineering excellence and customer satisfaction, and there are manufacturers who prioritize profit margins. The Volkswagen Tiguan, Ford Explorer XLT, and Hyundai Kona represent rush-to-market vehicles with cost-cutting measures that lead to customer frustration. The Subaru Crosstrek, Toyota RAV4, Kia Telluride, and Mazda CX-50 are built by companies that understand long-term customer satisfaction matters more than short-term profits. When shopping for an SUV, don't just look at the sticker price and marketing promises. Look at owner forums. Talk to actual owners. Research parts availability. If you want affordability and all-weather capability, buy the Subaru Crosstrek. If you want proven dependability, buy the Toyota RAV4. If you need three-row luxury at a non-luxury price, buy the Kia Telluride. If you want something fun to drive, buy the Mazda CX-50. But avoid the Volkswagen Tiguan, Ford Explorer XLT, and Hyundai Kona. My Tiguan is still in my driveway. I'm selling it at a loss and replacing it with a Toyota RAV4. I should have just bought that in the first place. Learn from my mistake. Make the smart choice.